Grand Rising family, Grand Rising. My name is Joe Brown, aka Black Feniks. I am the CEO of HogOn Welding and the founder of HogOn University. And this rising, I wanted to talk to you about experiencing the RV life before you age. This rising, I was thinking about a few things when I was in the RV park. I actually lived in Phoenix for about 5 years in an RV. So I had a lot of experience in working on them, the kinks, going to different RV parks, calling them, some of the trials and different things you will face traveling, not only as an African American, but just as an American purchasing the RV. Because, what they sell you on TV sometimes it isn't what you get. And the first thing I want to say about this is when I first got a chance to jump into the RV life, I was in my 30s. So I actually purchased the RV around 36 years old. I owned the RV. We paid cash. I owned the dually. We had our vehicles. We was going out there to actually start a new life over. So what I did was we started HogOn Welding out there in Phoenix, Arizona. And I used my dually and my other, I had a ridge line too when I started. And I used them to, map out the city. And being there at the RV park, because I actually was paying up, um, they got a deal where you can buy, like, do monthly, you can do 6 months, you can do a year, and you get a better price on it if you are going to be there for a while. So say if you know you're going to be there for 6 months, if you can travel to that spot and actually have 6 months worth of rent, you'll get a better price for your RV stay. So if you pay 6 months in advance or every 6 months, I think that's wise. I just want to say that because the cost they give you normally at some of the parks would be a lot cheaper, because some people come in and out, and they do tend to make more money on those who just come in for a few days, because they'll buy these big luxurious spots and they can get more out of those spots than someone staying in there for a long time. But they do have permanent RV parks where you can actually go in, and some can just live there or be there while they're working. A lot of construction do the RV parks. They save money and they can actually get paid to live in one. And what I mean by that is a lot of jobs give you per diem, and a lot of companies, when you do being independent or being your LLC, they'll give you a per diem that'll pay for your hotel or whatever. And if you have a RV, it's actually cheaper there. Where actually I did the math one time where my lady could actually stay in the RV and to just keep it, like to watch over and make sure everything is good, for about $2,500 a month, and that's all she had to do, because they was paying me around 3,000. So you give or take the RVs rent space and things like that, you like, man, you making about $2,500 just to have the RV there at the location, versus you giving all of that to the room. And another thing that I noticed by being there is a lot of older people who actually come through a lot. You see the younger generation come through there from time to time, but majority of the nicer RVs I have run across, the big ones, the fifth wheels, the big buses, they was from older people. And some of them had worked all of their lives to get to that certain point so they can get this nice RV. I seen them while I was out there, family. No lie, I can't tell you how many people that I witnessed had died in the RV park. Went to sleep, had a good night, they enjoying their vacation, died in the RV park, males and females. So, it just made me think that America tried to sell us this retire thing, work on the job till you're 65. Majority of the time, if you do that, you're not going to have that much longer left to live and to enjoy. And if something happened when you're trying to enjoy yourself, you're going to get hurt and it's hard to heal. And I've seen a lot of them fall from the staircases and things like that. So I honestly came up with an idea while I was out there, because talking about this made me think about it. I developed a staircase that was more sturdier, so, and more nicer to blend in with whatever RV style they had. where those who was elder could get on there and get on there more stronger, and they could actually take them down. Some of the old man like little projects where they can screw a couple things together and work on stuff, because it keeps them going. So it was like a win-win. They can put something together nice, and it helps both of them in and out the RV part, and I make money off of doing it. And it was just a win-win. When I was out there, family, I was selling those hands over fist. I'm not gonna lie. So that was a a plus from being there, as far as me seeing that. But just talking to them, like them telling me, how long they had to work and how long they had to do this, and then watching their loved one pass while they out there, fam, it was just sad. And it just let me realize that, we were sold this dream that we have to wait till we're old to enjoy life, family. And I think we have to enjoy life, family, while we in our youth. Enjoy your youth while you in your youth. Don't try to enjoy your youth while you in your prime years, you in your elder years, because you're not going to be able to do the things you can do now in your prime, in your youth, that you can do when you're older. So I seen a lot of them out there. You Like I say, different things. Just from some of the conversations and health issues and not being able to do things that they want to do. So, boy, I remember when I was 10, 15 years, 20 years younger, 30 years younger, I'd be able to walk around this block. Boy, I can't even just enjoy the night walk, like I used to. It's just certain things that you see being out there. So I'm thankful I was young and able to get an RV and go out there. And then I owned it, fam. And that's another thing. Majority of the ones, and this is no lie, the ones I seen that had nice RVs, um, Jeeps, all these things, a lot of them was not owners. They had nice credit. I only seen a few that was like owners. And a lot of them thought I was, renting the RV spot, renting, like paying for my RV and paying for all the stuff. And I told them, nah, I just rent out the RV park. The RV, my trucks, our vehicles, everything is ours. We come out here owners and trying to, be a pioneer and start our welding company. And a lot of them told me, they was like, man, that was very wise you to do that, especially in your prime like that. I wish I would have had the courage. You got to take a lot of courage to be independent, because you don't know how it's going to go. And and one thing that I realized, that being out there, it is a plus when you have a partner, you have a friend, you have a spouse, you have someone where both of y'all can can um can rub shoulders. Like if one person is doing a little bit and the other person is doing a lot, or one person is putting all their effort in and you putting all your effort in, you got to win, fam. Like I think you can get above the hump faster if you do that. Now, being independent completely by yourself, you can do this too. But if you got someone, family, in your life, especially in this day and age, fam, both of y'all got to do something. Both of y'all have to, and everybody is set up different. So don't expect one person to do exactly what you do. And that's one thing that I learned from being in the RV park, watching the older people, listening to older conversations, watching the way they mingle, and the way they, hold their relationships and value their time. It just made me realize that the reality of it is, time is more valuable than money. But a lot of us get caught up in the system where they lie to us, and we'll be working for money. We'll work all this time for money, and then when we want to enjoy time, time is stolen from us. And to be young as I was at that time, to be around them, it made me realize some things that helped shift my life to a different direction, fam. And I'm 42 years old now. And like I say, getting that information really shifted me, because I was able to say, man, I need to go on and get some things together now, because I don't want to be in that situation. So, having good credit, fam, is a plus. A couple of them gave me some good pointers. They was like, hey, man, our credit is good. We got it lined out. So if anything happened to us, the way it's set up, that it'll completely pay off the debt. So that way, whoever alive won't be responsible for the debt, and they'll have it. And I'm like, man, that's pretty neat. So they use their credit where they ain't got to pay a whole lot, and say, man, if someone want to pass, she ain't got to worry about this debt, because the way we got it, it's going to pay it off if any one of us pass. So a couple of them had some smart things going. And then I seen some family come out there with the nice trucks and things, and the man died and the woman left out there at the RV, and she got the payment, and he was working. He was older, in his older age, but he was like doing farming work and bringing in the money, and she had to sell stuff out there. You know what I mean? Like I seen that happen. So, it's crazy how things can go, fam. But I would say this: don't get caught up in the hype. Um, and I would say this: you don't have to buy a brand new. If you don't know anything about RVs, I wouldn't buy a brand new RV. I would buy a pre-owned RV, like buying a pre-owned car, or buying one from someone who has already fixed the kinks, because it's certain things that's going to go wrong in a family, just what it is. And some of the upgrades are better than some of the things that they start out original with. It's just what it is. You know how with a car, sometimes they'll say you want the original part because it's better than the aftermarket. Well, sometimes the aftermarket is better than the original part when you're dealing with these RVs. And do your homework. Try to find out brands. I always tell people they got that nice phone in their hands. Google and see the reviews on whatever model or make you trying to get. Try to see what's best make and model for your price of money. So if you got 5, 10, 15, 20,000, see what you can buy cash for your money that could be, be within your budget, and then you can still be able to kill several birds with one stone, travel in it, make money in it by, working in it, or whatever you're doing. But I think the RV life, fam, is a great experience and something that we should most definitely do, if you have the opportunity, especially if you're a person that want to travel, you want to see different things. But I will say this now: I got to be cautious, fam. I'm a black native, African American, whatever you want to call me, a black man, and traveling. I learned a few things that we got to be cautious of, fam. You do want to call ahead of time and let the people know. Some people ain't, friendly everywhere up on our people. So you want to let them know who you are. And you will see what I'm saying. You call, some of them might say they don't have none. Let it be what it was. At that time when I was traveling, my wife was white. So, she'll call and she'll get approved. And when they just told me I couldn't, now we wouldn't go to those spots, but it was something that I wanted her to see, like, hey, it's real out here. This stuff ain't fair, even though you say, nah, it's not like that. Until you actually experience, you say, yeah, it's like that. So it's not like that everywhere, fam. But I would say do some calling, find some places that's, you know, um, that's friendly with all races, that don't have no issues. They do have minimums at certain places. Some people ask me, like, what's the perfect size to travel in? Like, if you're a worker and you want to travel in the RV and you just traveling, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I wouldn't go over a 30 foot if you're moving around, like 30, 32, because those spots, they have a lot of those spots, and normally those are common. If you get a real big one, sometimes it's going to be hard for you to get a fine spot. But if you can get between a 30, I would say, a 30, no bigger than a 32, but anywhere with like 25, 28 to 30, honestly, is a good size for traveling, because it's a decent size RV. So if you're doing working and you're moving around, that's a good size for moving around in. Now, if you want to live in it, you can get, like live permanently, then, they got bigger sizes. And then, you can even still get a small size and have a permanent fit. So it all depends on what you want. But I will say this: look up some of the older brands, some models that went out due to, they couldn't keep up with the budget, with what was going on, and they was producing a premier product. So a lot of their stuff was top line. So look up some of those brands. But I would just say, see what can fit your budget. If you need to tow a car, use a truck, whatever you got to do. But I will say, most definitely do it in your youth, fam. Figure out. I seen a post and I want to share it with you. It was saying that in your 20s you should experience life, like you should be experimenting with life, like experimenting, trying to figure out where you want to go. And in your 30s you should say, okay, this is what I want to do, and you focus on it. And in your 40s you build on it. And about time you get in your 50s and you hit that 50, you living on it, you enjoying life. So I think that being 50, around the age of 50, and getting to the point where you can really live, man, you still young, fam. You got some stuff out the way. You got some grandbabies if you had kids. If not, some people just not having their first kid, or, especially men. I know some mans that's just not having some first kids around that age. But all I'm saying is, fam, we just should think more wisely of our time. Um, Take advantage of the RV parks if that's something you want to do. One thing that I did notice that I didn't like, fam, going certain places, it was like, you know, if you're going just to travel in, you want to try to find some places that you can network with, like call them, have a relationship. They got some parks that's been around forever, so you can like form a relationship. I would say wherever you stay at, try to form a relationship, because having a relationship at an RV park will most definitely help you out. So I want to give a shout out to the RV park that I was living in. They was good to me the whole time I was there. I can't complain. You got different people that come in that acted funny, but as far as the owners and the workers and the people that was there, hands down, I had a great time. And this was in North Phoenix in Deer Valley. It was called the Purple Park first, and then they changed it to Desert Edge RV Park. So it's Desert Edge RV Park, North Phoenix, right off the Highway 17. Great place, fam. I had a great time. Like I say, I experienced some things. It was in a location right off the freeway where I could actually go to Scottsdale, Glendale, downtown. Um, I can, move around to West Phoenix. I can be in different places, Mesa and different, different places. So I was able to travel. Man, it was just a nice area to move around in. So for those who travel, if you ever go to Phoenix, Arizona, try it out. And make sure you say, hey man, Black Phoenix, HogOn Welding told me, hey, this is the place to come. I don't know if it's a still employees, but I guarantee you, probably one person in there probably still was there, since when I was there. But just wanted to say, fam, thanks for checking in, HogOn, everybody that's checking in. I appreciate the support. Like I say, I wanted to talk about this because it was just something I was thinking about, and there was a couple things that a few of the old mans told me about doing it in my prime, doing it now. He said, man, if you got a dream, follow it now. You got something you want to do it now, fam. And so, in my personal opinion, living life like that, fam, can give you a lot of liberation, a lot of freedom, a lot of free time. Um, it's just a lot of freedom. Like, now I will say this, like, for where I was at, I was spending about, and this is, some say, oh man, this was kind of expensive. I was spending like $800 a month on my lot, and that was the light, the lights, um, water, and internet, some internet, yeah, and the amenities that was there. So you say $800 a month, and that was like all my bills, with me, with the lot I had. Some say it was kind of expensive, but honestly, it really wasn't. They had other places that was 5 and 4, but they wasn't as clean and upkeep, and it all depends on how you want to live too. I'm not bougie or nothing like that, but I don't want to be in the slums if I don't have to be. Now, if I got to be, it is what it is. I'm from the hood, I can handle that. But if I can be in a place where I can lay my head and I'll be comfortable, I pick one of them. So some of them, depends on the size of your RV and what premier spot you want to get in. The prices can vary. The prices has been going up, especially in the West. You can see the gas prices right now. I believe they're $4.50, $5 out there, something like that. I mean, they up there. So you got to think about that being out there in the West, in Nevada, Phoenix, California. New Mexico ain't that bad. I actually enjoyed some parts of New Mexico, to be honest. Albuquerque was cool. It's a different city. But I can say that traveling out west was fun. I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed being in Arizona. And going through Nevada, had great time in that area. But you got to think, like I say, when you're traveling out there, you just got to keep in with the gas prices. Certain places are going to be cheaper when you're traveling, so just keep that in mind, fam. But most definitely, someone asked me, will I be getting another RV because I sold the one I had? And I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna share this with you, because if you get the right RV, fam, and you take care of it and you do some proper upgrades when the upgrades is needed, you can get the money out of your RV when you trade it in or sell it. I would say sell it. Sometimes you can get more off a trade in now. Sometimes you can. They can give you more if they really want it. If they got someone that's wanting it, they're gonna charge them more. But if you sell it, you can be able to get nice money. So I spent $10,000 and I bought that RV, that fifth wheel, and it was something that I wanted to try out. It was a nice one, fam. Just getting it for cash, and I sold it, fam, after I lived in it, for all of that time, for 8,000. So I lived in it for like I say, 4 or 5 years, and sold it for $8,000. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't lose in the situation at all. So if you get the right one, it's most definitely can be an investment. So don't frown on getting something older. But I will say this: they do have codes, just like houses. So you want to get you something that's up to date. I wouldn't say, like, honestly, um, I wouldn't buy anything. What is this? 2022. I wouldn't buy anything older than the 04 probably. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe 2000, 2001. I think they probably got the code, but I wouldn't go past 2001. That's like 20 years. You know, you pushing it, but I'd say about 04, 05 would be the oldest that I go, and then go from there, because a lot of the codes and things are changes, and it depends on if you want to upgrade the material or whatever. But there's a lot of good RVs out there, fam. So someone asked me, was I getting another one? Most definitely, fam. With the way I like to travel, I think it's just you know, in life, I realized when just doing history that, doing the Trail of Tears, even, when the people was relocating, all they had was their possessions. Fam, that's it. That's all they had was their possessions, their horses, their carriages, their animals, their, cooking utensils, the blankets or whatever. And in America, when you think about it, fam, certain things you own is all you really own. Everything else is just a delusion. You think you own it, but you don't really own it. They can take it from you. The land, you don't really own it. You know, everything is leased. Everything is borrowed. You know what I mean? And even once you own things, you pass them down, but at least certain things can't be took from you. So having an RV home where you can move around, see the world if you want to, or just be in one spot. You say, you know what, I like this spot. I like being here. It can give you a freedom, fam, and a true ownership, because that's all we got. It's like having your horse and your carriage. To me, that's what the RV reminds me of. Having your horse and your carriage, and you relocating to find a better way, or just going somewhere where you enjoy. Because you just got to realize that you don't need as much as you think you need. It made me realize that too. Sometimes we think we need so much material things, the list goes on. And the reality of it, we really don't need all those things. It's just things that helps us feel good about ourselves when we're going through different things. But having the experience of the RV life, fam, was priceless. Like I can't make it up as far as how much fun I had. It was ups, it was downs. And let me give a shout out to Ross RV. So Ross RV is an RV service in Phoenix, Arizona. He actually worked the whole area of Phoenix. So if you in Phoenix, Arizona, look up Ross Mobile. I think it's Ross. Yeah, it's Ross Mobile RV, and he do RV service. It's one of the first brothers I met. I had a little issue. It was going to be crazy amount what they was going to charge me. He actually called me, walked me through some of it, and then came over there and I paid him for helping me. So dude was cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes you meet certain people, and y'all might not be friends, but business wise, you say, hey man, this guy right here was straight up, and he was straight up, fam. So if you're in the area, you get broke down, call Ross RV. I got to give people a shout out that I actually network with, who rubbed shoulders with me, who actually showed me some love. So like I say, the brother showed me love. He's actually a single father raising his daughter, so salute out to them. Um, sometimes, man, I feel like we have to support our own, especially being small businesses. So, you're going to meet some good people when you're doing the RV. And that's one thing I love about RVing, and especially, for being young, experiencing that, because you're going to come from certain areas where you're going to meet people that don't think like you. You know, every person that you think that is hateful isn't hateful. And every person you think that is full of love isn't full of love. You learn that as you travel, you learn it as you meet people. And I love meeting people. I actually love meeting new people better than I like the old people I know. I grew up with it. It happens like that sometimes, but I enjoy meeting new people. And the RV life gave me an opportunity to meet new people, fam. So, if you haven't experienced it, try it, dive into it, give it a shout out, uh, give it a try out. And, like I say, don't get in debt if you don't have to. If you got good credit and you can work something out like the people was, do that. If you can buy it and find a good reasonable number, do that. Just pay attention to what's going on right now, fam. They say it's a recession about to creep up, and normally when they get to talking about it, it normally happens. So I just want to say, fam, hold on to your possessions, stack up your money. If you can get you something to lower your cost of living, do that. Um, if you got something that's solid, keep it because it's gonna, it's gonna be raining. But don't become no slave to nobody. Try to find your freedom as possible, and owning an RV can give you some freedom. Can not have you trapped to a certain area. When you buy a house, it be you trapped to that area sometimes. But when you own, say if you buy $80,000 house, you got to stay there. You buy a $50,000 RV, you can relocate it wherever you want to, or 30,000. However you want to do it if you're using credit. I'm just saying, there's more ways around enjoying life. And at this time in life, fam, as we know, due to the virus, the corona, different things that took place in our country the last few years, that time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. We know we need money to survive. We know we live in a capitalistic world that it's all about finances, fam. So that's one thing you're gonna see when you see these RVs. You're gonna see 1,000 RVs. You're gonna be like, I don't know which one I need. So just do some homework, figure out how much space you need, the least you can have, or the luxuries that you might want, and grab hold to them, fam, and get your hog on, fam. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy it, try it out, rent one if you can, to see if you like it. You know what I mean? It's different things you can do. They got Airbnb ones now that you can at least try it out. I don't know. And another thing I want to say, just because you get an RV and you don't want to drive it, there's plenty people, plenty companies, plenty independent people that do the hot shot driving and things like that, that would tow your RV to where you need it at, and you just pay them a fee and you still live. And you ain't got to have a truck if you don't want to. You can have a big, nice one. I see many people with nice big RV, like, what, they big truck at? They got this little car. Oh yeah, I had someone pay someone so they delivered it, where I wanted it. So don't get caught up and think, oh man, I got to put it in another budget. I got to get a 50, 60,000, 70, $80,000 truck too. I got to upgrade the car. Don't panic, fam. Don't panic. There's ways around everything. Like, everybody is doing something right now. So shout out to everybody that's independent, LLCs, sole proprietors, anybody that's got something going on. Shout out to them. Network with your people. If they got something going on and it's reasonable, network with them, because I'm telling you, you can save money. Don't stress yourself out. There's many ways to enjoy this RV living. So I just wanted to give a shout out to all the older gentlemen that I got some game from in that RV park, and the older women, just watching them and just realizing, man, time is of the essence, fam. Time is of the essence, fam. So if I learned anything about living in the RV park, you don't want to wait till you're old, fam. Now get starting young and enjoying it while you're old. Now that's what you want to do. But getting old, sometimes you won't be able to enjoy it like you think you will. Like I say, you might, I can't tell you how many people retired at 65 that died a week or 2 weeks after, fam. Like, wow. So, just think about it, fam. All I'm saying is, we're coming into a new year. You got to make different choices. And if it's something that you think about doing, just do your homework. Right now, we got the power in our hands with them cell phones, fam. You know what I mean? So all you have to do is Google, do a little bit research, and you'll be surprised at what you can do. Y'all be blessed, continues to prosper. Hold on, fam.